Peace. It sounds like something everyone wants, doesn't it? We talk about it like it's the ultimate goal, the place we all hope to reach once the noise quiets down. But for some people, peace doesn't feel like peace at all. It feels foreign. It feels tense. It feels wrong. The silence that others find soothing makes them restless. The calm that others crave makes their chests tighten. They say they want stillness, but when it finally comes, they feel like something's missing, like danger is hiding just beyond the quiet. This is the strange paradox of peace. For people who have lived in chaos for too long, peace feels unsafe. When your nervous system has spent years on alert, scanning for threat, waiting for the next disaster, calm doesn't register as comfort. It registers as confusion. The brain starts to whisper, something's off. You've become so used to surviving that your body doesn't know how to just exist. So even when life settles, your mind keeps searching for what's wrong. It replays old arguments, imagines future problems, invents crises to fill the silence. Because to someone who has always lived in motion, stillness feels like danger disguised as safety. Psychologists call this trauma homeostasis, the tendency of the mind to recreate the emotional environment it's familiar with, even when it's painful. Peace, in that context, feels alien. The nervous system, addicted to adrenaline, looks for familiar chaos to return to. That's why some people pick fights in calm relationships, chase stress after rest, or overthink when things finally start going well. It's not self-sabotage, it's survival programming. The body is trying to return to what it knows, but the deeper truth is this: peace demands trust. And if the world has taught you that calm always ends with chaos, then trusting peace feels like walking into a trap. You wait for the other shoe to drop, for the silence to explode into sound. It's not that you don't want peace, it's that your body doesn't yet believe it's real. For people who find peace uncomfortable, chaos often became their earliest teacher. Maybe they grew up in a home where moods shifted without warning, where quiet meant tension, not calm. The sound of silence didn't feel safe. It felt like the moment before someone shouted, slammed a door, or walked away. Their nervous system learned to prepare for impact, to read every room for hidden danger. And over time, that vigilance became second nature. When you grow up expecting the ground to shake, stillness feels suspicious. Your body associates calm not with safety, but with anticipation. Psychologists call this hypervigilance, a constant state of alertness developed through unpredictable environments. It's like living with an alarm system that never turns off. Even when the house is quiet, your mind scans for smoke. You might find yourself overanalyzing texts, worrying when things go well, or feeling uneasy when no one's upset with you. It's not that you want chaos. It's that your nervous system doesn't yet trust peace. It feels too still, too exposed. Chaos, on the other hand, is familiar, predictable, even in its unpredictability. You know how to survive in it. That's why many people subconsciously recreate chaos when life becomes calm. They'll overwork, start unnecessary arguments, or sabotage relationships that feel too good. Not because they want drama, but because it feels like home. The human brain would rather live in familiar pain than unfamiliar peace. It seeks what it knows, not what it needs. So when life finally stops hurting, the absence of pain feels empty, even wrong. But here's what's even more complex. For people who equate peace with passivity, chaos also feels like proof of aliveness. The rush, the intensity, the adrenaline, it all makes you feel. After years of numbness, calm can feel like nothingness. And that nothing is terrifying. So you chase what burns, because at least it reminds you that you're still here. The tragedy is that this cycle keeps peace just out of reach. The very thing you crave, stability, quiet, rest, feels unbearable when it finally arrives. It's like standing in a silent room after years of noise. Your ears ring with ghosts of the past. The discomfort with peace doesn't just live in the mind. It lives in the body. The nervous system of someone who's been in constant fight or flight doesn't instantly know how to switch off. Even when life slows down, the body stays wired for danger. The heart beats faster in silence. The breath feels shallow when there's nothing to fix. The muscles stay tight as if waiting for impact. It's not resistance, it's conditioning. Your body learned to survive intensity, so peace feels like withdrawal. The calm feels like the absence of oxygen, not the presence of safety. Neuroscience explains this through somatic memory, the body's way of storing experiences that the mind can't process. When you've lived through unpredictability, the the body starts associating adrenaline with normalcy. Calm doesn't feel natural because your nervous system equates stillness with vulnerability. That's why, when things are finally good, you feel restless. Your body is whispering, "This can't last." So it tries to create motion again, a small argument, a sudden fear, a mental spiral. Anything to recreate the rhythm it understands. Even happiness can feel suspicious. When you've spent years surviving, joy can feel like an illusion. You start scanning peaceful moments for signs of collapse. A calm day feels like the calm before a storm. Love feels dangerous because love has hurt before. The brain, shaped by repetition, interprets peace as a setup. You might even feel guilt for resting, as though stillness itself is indulgent. Because somewhere along the line, you learned that safety comes through control, not surrender. The problem isn't that peace is uncomfortable. It's that your system has been trained to confuse intensity with meaning. Chaos feels purposeful because it's familiar. Peace feels empty because it's unknown. But peace isn't nothingness. It's just quiet. And in that quiet, everything you've avoided begins to surface. That's what makes it so hard. When the noise fades, you finally hear yourself. Your grief, your exhaustion, your unmet needs. Peace doesn't trigger panic because it's wrong. It triggers panic because it gives your pain room to speak. At first, that silence feels unbearable. When you've spent a lifetime running, slowing down feels like standing still in a storm that's happening inside you. All the emotions you buried under productivity, caretaking, and chaos begin to rise to the surface. The sadness you never processed, the anger you swallowed, the fear you disguised as motivation. Peace strips away distraction. And in that emptiness, the truth finally echoes. That's why many people mistake healing for falling apart, because when you finally stop surviving, your body starts remembering what it's been through. This is the stage where many people turn back toward chaos. The stillness feels too raw, too loud. You might feel anxious, restless, or even depressed when life gets quiet. But that discomfort isn't proof that something's wrong. It's proof that your system is detoxing from constant adrenaline. The same way a body shakes when it begins to thaw after the cold. Peace feels painful because you're defrosting from survival mode. Your nervous system doesn't yet trust that safety is safe. It's waiting for the familiar sting of crisis to return. Psychologists call this healing discomfort. It's the paradox of progress. Peace will feel like loss until your body learns that calm doesn't mean danger. You'll have to sit with the urge to flee. You'll have to resist the impulse to fill silence with noise. It's hard because peace demands presence. And presence brings everything you've avoided into view. But if you can stay through the discomfort, breathe through the restlessness instead of running from it, your body begins to recalibrate. Slowly, safety starts to feel less foreign. This process isn't linear. You'll have moments of peace followed by sudden unease. You'll find calm one day and crave chaos the next. That's okay. It's not failure. It's rewiring. You're teaching your nervous system that calm isn't the absence of life. It's the foundation of it. Peace isn't punishment. It's the space where healing finally begins to happen. Eventually, peace begins to soften from something unfamiliar into something gentle. Not a void, but a quiet fullness. You start to realize that peace was never the absence of feeling. It was the presence of safety. It's the moment you can finally exhale without expecting to be punished for it. It's when your body stops bracing for what comes next and starts trusting that nothing bad is waiting around the corner. The silence that once made you restless begins to feel like home. The stillness that once felt suffocating starts to feel like space. You begin to understand that peace isn't about perfection. It's not about a life without conflict or emotion. It's about knowing that calm can exist even when everything isn't resolved. You start recognizing peace not in the grand moments, but in the small ones. The pause between breaths, the quiet morning light, the ability to sit with your thoughts without drowning in them. That's when you realize peace isn't something you find. It's something you learn to allow. Healing, at its core, is about safety. Teaching your nervous system that it no longer has to fight for every breath. And that safety doesn't come from control. It comes from surrender. It's trusting that you can survive without constant motion. It's letting yourself rest without guilt. It's learning that calm doesn't mean boredom. It means presence. It means finally having enough space to notice what you feel and enough courage to stay with it. So if peace still feels uncomfortable to you, that's not failure. It's healing in progress. It means your body is remembering how to live without panic. You're teaching it that safety doesn't have to be earned, that stillness isn't a trap, and that calm doesn't mean loss. It means you're finally home. Because peace isn't supposed to excite you, it's supposed to hold you, quietly, steadily, softly.